In this lecture, you will discover a new data structure which will make your coding easier. If you go back to your code, you're going to add now a list of article titles. So here, instead of displaying messages, you would display a list. Title 1, Title 2, 3, and 4. You don't need this anymore. And give values. And if you have to add more values, you can do something smarter. You declare a variable with value 1. Here you concat, and then you increment the value. And to save an instruction, you can do this. So you are using variables, which are the simplest data form. You can put only one value in it. But you can see that if you want to increase the number of titles displayed, you have to code it and add more HTML list tag, and it's not dynamic. Hopefully, when you have to manipulate similar data, you can put them in a list. And the data structure to manipulate lists is array. So here, instead of using 4 variables, you can declare an array and you add values starting from 0, 1, 2, and 3. And if you make it smarter, as well starts at 1, you can do this. And here, instead of displaying each variable, what can you do? You already know the answer. A loop. For I equals 0 to count titles. So count is a function which returns the number of elements in an array. And then you display the data in a HTML tag. We have the same. If you change the title 1, it works. So to give you a visual explanation, you have an array and you put a value associated to an index. For index 0, you have title number 1. For index 1, title 2, and so on. Now you can see you can add data and display them without coding again the display, because it's independent from the number of data in an array. A little extension to your toolbox. Here you do a loop with for, but you can use also a for each. For each content in titles, I want the key and the value, and you're gonna display that. Key equals key, and value equals value. You check. I guess it's clear. In this case, the key value is a number, but you can also use a string. For example, if you want to associate a title and an article preview, title number 1 and the preview. Let's make things smarter. And here you're going to replace the value dynamically with the PHP function strReplace. You search number to inject. You replace it with the number. And you do this from the string. And strReplace returns the modified string. And you put that in a loop. You don't need to increment anymore. You check. And here, if you print one value with this key, you get the associated value. But if you use an unknown key, like a number, you get an error. I hope you remember that for each action your program does, there is still a successful ending and an unsuccessful one. In this case, you see that some tests must be done before using the array. To do that, you can use the function arrayKeyExists. So, if arrayKeyExists, this key in this array, if the function returns true, you can get the value from the array and display it. The same for this key. You check. No more error. That's all for now. In the next lecture, you will see how to organize your code and another one principle for bulletproof programs.